So today I'm going to discuss with you again lesson number 2, right? Grade 10, lesson number 2. So you can remember last day we discussed about that some fundamentals of the computer system. So you can remember we have done some revision, right? Last day I discussed about the random access memory. සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් අපි කියන අපිට සසම්භාවී ප්‍රවේශ මතකය, random access memory, right? So I discussed about this memory part. Can you remember? This is temporarily stores data, right? You know, RAM is we can say it as, we can consider it as main memory of the computer, right? So it stores data in temporarily. So that is why we call it as temporary memory device, and the data stores in the RAM will be deleted when the computer is switched off. So you know that's why we call it as volatile memory, right? සිංහල මාධ්‍ය දරුවන්ට මම අප ඒ ටික කියන්න සසම්භාවී ප්‍රවේශ මතකය කියලා අපි කියන පුතේ. ඒකට අපි තව නමක් තමයි ප්‍රධාන මතකය. ඒක తాවකාලික මතකයක්. නේද? తాවකාලිකව දත්ත රඳවගෙන ප්‍රොසෙසර් එකකට නැත්නම් සකසනේට දත්ත යවනවා. ඒ වගේම හදිසියේ විදුලි බලය නැති වුණොත් ඒකේ තියෙන දත්ත සියල්ලම මැකිලා යනවා. අපි ඒකට කියන නශ්‍ය මතකයක් කියලා. හරි? මට ඒක සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් නෝට් එක ලියලා නැති නිසා මම ඒක විශේෂයෙන් කියන්නේ නශ්‍ය මතකයක් කියලා මතක තියාගන්න පුතේ. Right? So data coming from input device as well as data sent to output device are held in RAM. So this is the functionality of RAM, right? Main functionality of the RAM is it held the data temporarily, comes from input devices and some temporary data to send the output devices, right? මේ ප්‍රධාන මතකයෙන් කරන්න පුතේ ආදාන උපක්‍රම වලින් ලැබෙන දත්ත රඳවගෙන ප්‍රතිදාන උපක්‍රම වලට දත්ත ආපහු සකස් කරාට පස්සේ ලැබෙන තොරතුරු ලබා දෙන එක. ඉතින් ඒක తాවකාලිකව රඳවගන්නේ RAM එකේ, right? මම මෙතෙන්ට ආවේ මම last week එකේ මම මේක ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක්ක කතා කරාට. So can you remember some of the okay, because I have to discuss with you that level 1, level 2, level 3 RAM, right? That's why I take this part again. Before that, I have to ask some questions, right? අපිට පරිගණක මතක ගත්තාම පුතේ අපිට කොටස් දෙකකට බෙදන්න පුළුවන්. නශ්‍ය මතක සහ නශ්‍ය නොවන මතක. නශ්‍ය මතක, නශ්‍ය නොවන මතක. In English medium we call that volatile memories and non-volatile memories. Anybody can tell me what are the examples for volatile memories? Right? Shall I ask one of the volatile memories? Volatile. One of the example. Chirana, can you tell me? RAM. Yes, very good. RAM is one of the example for volatile. So what is? Mulani? Volatile. When the power is off, then all the data loss. RAM. Right. So you have to remember that there are three memories: RAM, registers, and cache. Right? සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් අපි කියන සසම්භාවී ප්‍රවේශ මතකය, register මතකය, මේක මට මතකයි cache memory, වාරක මතකය කියන වගේ පොඩ්ඩක් ඒකේ නම අපි පොඩ්ඩක් අපෝ චෙක් කරගමු පුතේ. හරි? මෙන්න මේ cache memory එක. හරි? එතකොට RAM, registers, cache කියන memories තුන තමයි අපි volatile memories විදියට ගන්නෙ. So can you remember other normally what are the non-volatile memories? Non-volatile. Ashan? Ashan is there. Right. Puvishna, can you tell me non-volatile memory? One of the example for non-volatile. Nashya novana mataka. Yes. You can unmute your mic.
ROM.
Sorry?
ROM.
Yes, very good. ROM. Very good, Puishna. Very good. Right. ROM is the one of the example for non-volatile memory. Right. So there are, so we can, and other things, other memories are secondary storage devices also we can consider as non-volatile memories because those are permanent memories. Right. Very good. Right. Now we can move to this part. Right. You can remember. So can you remember normally we can divide cache memory into three sections. What are they? Level 1 cache, level 2 cache and level 3 cache. Here you can see this is the main memory, pradhana matake RAM, sasambhavi pravesha matake RAM, right? And here you can see input devices and here output devices. Then normally data sent through the input devices to the main memory. So that is the one of the functionality of RAM. It hold data temporarily. Then it send that data to CPU to process, right? So you can see CPU has three main sections. What are they? Control unit, palana ekakaya, ALU, Gantamaya ha Tarkika ekakaya, and registers, that smallest and fastest memory part that we call registers. The registers තියෙනවා ඒක CPU එකේ මතකයක් විදියට තියෙනවා. හරි? So you can see this is the cache memory, right? So we can divide that cache memory into three sections, level 1 cache, level 2 and level 3. Normally level 1 cache inside the CPU, always inside the CPU situated level 1 cache, right? Level 1 cache මතකය කියන එක හැම වෙලේම CPU එක තුල තමයි පුතේ තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි L2 and L3 level 2 and level 3 cache memories on board, right? So this is normally we can say it as on board, mean on the motherboard, right? Level 1, level 2 and level 3 cache memories තියෙන්නේ මව්පුවරුව මත. හරි? එතකොට L1 cache කියලා හදිසිය ඔයගලන්ට දැන් CPU එක තුල ඇති මතකයක් නොවන්නේ කියලා ඔයාට answers දුන්නොත් registers level 1 cache level 2 cache කියලා දුන්නොත් මතකයක් නොවන්නේ මොකද පුතේ? L2 cache, because registers and level 1 cache both are inside the CPU, right? So therefore you should normally you have to consider about it, right? And you can see after the processing it send that information to the RAM to temporarily hold there, and it send to the normally to the output devices, right? So that is the process doing inside the happen inside the computer, right? Okay, now we can move to the next, right? Right, read only memory. You know about it, this is the one of the firmware. අපි මේකට කියන අපතේ ස්ථිරාංගයක් කියලා. ස්ථිරාංගයක් කියන්නේ normally when the manufacturing level, when they install install some chip to the computer, so that type of chip we call firmware, right? පරිගණක නිර්මාණය කිරීම මට්ටමේදීම මොනවා හරි පරිගණකයේ තුල තොරතුරු සමග නැත්නම් උපදෙස් සමග රඳවලා තියෙන පරිපත තියෙනවා අපි ඒවට කියනවා පුතේ ස්ථිරාංග කියලා, right? So this is one of the example for the firmware. So that is we call read only memory. We can read only, we cannot change. But you can remember I told you there are some three types of ROM. Can you remember? Right? මතකයිද කාට හරි? ROM වර්ග තුනක් තියෙනවා. මොනවද පුතේ? PROM, right? PROM. So I think easy for me. Shall I read it? Right? Programmable ROM, PROM. Next one. What is that? PROM. Erasable programmable ROM. Next one. Electrically erasable programmable ROM. PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. Right? PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. right? Again, programmable ROM, erasable ROM, electrically erasable ROM, right? So there are 3 types of ROM, right? But normally we consider it as it is only the read-only memory, right? It is non-volatile memory. When the power is off, then that data is not deleted from the memory. It is permanent memory, right? What is the functionality of ROM? The commands required for the booting up the computer are stored in the ROM. These commands are called BIOS, right? It keep the instructions those instructions we call BIOS. පරිගණකයේ පුතේ power on කරත් එක්කම සිද්ධ වෙනවා යම්කිසි කාර්යයක් power on self testing එකක් කරන. ඒ කියන්නේ power on කරත් එක්ක ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ඕන machine එකක් power computer එකක් on කරත් එක්කම it takes some times, right, to booting process that we call booting process. With the lesson number 5 you can go through that booting process, right? Lesson number 5 වල operating system lesson එකේදී ඔයගොල්ලන්ට booting process එක ගැන සම්පූර්ණ විස්තර තියෙනවා, right? So therefore with the that is initial process we call booting process. Then booting process needs some instructions. Those instructions we call BIOS. So those instructions normally install inside the ROM. සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් නම් අපි කියන පුතේ කියන්නේ පරිගණකයේ ආරම්භක ක්‍රියාවලිය නැත්නම් බූටින් ක්‍රියාවලිය සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන මූලික උපදේශ රඳවාගෙන තියෙන්නේ ROM එක ඇතුලේ. ඒ මූලික උපදේශ වලට අපි කියන පුතේ BIOS කියලා. මොනවද BIOS කියන්නේ? Basic Input Output System instructions, right? Okay, so that is the functionality of ROM. And computer manufacturing companies stored these commands in the ROM with a smaller capacity and is connected to the motherboard. You know that we can consider it as firmware. පරිගණක නිර්මාණ අවස්ථාවේදී මේක install කරන නිසා තමයි පුතේ අපි firmware කියලා කියන්නේ. හරි? So you can see the ROM, right? So I think that is enough for you. Then after we can go to the next, right? So we discuss up to this point only we discussed, right? So can you remember those ports I asked you, right? Number 1, right? So what is this, Puta? This is PS2 port, no? This is PS2, right? Nowadays, no need to use those type of ports because we are using normally earlier we used those type of ports to connect mouse and keyboard, but nowadays you know keyboards and mouse all are what normally what is the now port type nowadays? Anybody can tell me? Right, nowadays
USB.
Very good, USB, universal serial bus port, right? So therefore no need to use the PS2 ports, right? And you know earlier we used parallel port to connect the printer, and there are some other ports we can go to that here, right? And then third one, what is third one, Puta? HDMI, right? HDMI. Fourth one, you can see RJ45, that is Ethernet port cable, RJ45 port, and that is internet cable. And audio ports, you can see audio ports, no need to memorize that colors and all. And USB port, normally we are using USB port, that is universal serial bus. And video port, right? To connect the monitor we can use VGA, then VGA card connect with this port, that's why we call it VGA port, video port. And last one, serial port, right? No need to use those type of ports, right? Nowadays it is removed from the system, right? Normally we are using other ports, right? Let's go to the go to that here, PS2 port. I think no need to discuss it again, right? And this is the parallel port, right? So there are 25 holes, right? Okay. And you know nowadays we are using the printers also. The printers also has some USB ports, right? Right. Now HDMI high definition multimedia interface port. This port can be seen especially in laptops, right? It connects the monitor, multimedia projector or digital TVs and digital speakers to computer, right? So we can use these type of ports to connect the laptop with the multimedia projector or a television, right? So through the digital TV, right? Okay, so because it is very high, normally clearly we can send those data, right? Because you know we have to send multimedia. Normally there is a lot of information, visual and audio, video, all. Therefore, normally these HDMI ports are very important for that, to send those type of data, right? අපි පරිගණකය ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකකට හරි ඩිජිටල් TV එකක් හරි අපිට ප්‍රදර්ශනය කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නම් පුතේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි පාවිච්චි කරන HDMI ports. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලෝ අත්දැකීමෙන් දැනටත් මේ වෙද්දි දන්නවා ඇති. Right, now RJ45 port, you know this is network port, right? You can see some lights. If it is working, you can see that lights are blinking, right? Properly blinking. Network cable එක ගහුවාම එක වැඩ කරනවා නම් මෙතන lights දෙකක් blink වෙනවා. අපි port එකට කියනවා පුතේ RJ45 port කියලා, right? Then after audio ports, right? So they have given the symbols and all, therefore no need to worry about the colors, right? Okay, so USB, this is very important. Universal serial bus port, right? Earlier we used different ports, but nowadays it all are normally removed from that, and most of the time we are using USB port, right? There are some special features for the USB. Can you tell me, anybody can tell me what are the one of the special feature of USB? One of the special feature, right? Anyone? Right? Shall I name? Right. Anybody can talk. Right? One of the advantage of USB, right? Earlier, when we use parallel port with the printer earlier, we should install the device driver softwares for the computer. Normally printer softwares, right? So you know with the printer they have given us a CD and it has the device driver. So all the commands, right? All the commands for the printer, right? Then machine එකක් තියෙදි machine එක දන්නේ නැහැ print එකට අදාළ instructions පුතේ. එතකොට they have given us the CD, so we have to install that device driver softwares. If we install that only, we can use directly that printer, right? Earlier අපිට ඒ printers use කරන්න පුළුවන් උනේ පුතේ අපි ඒකට අදාළ උපදෙස් ටික අපි install කරාට පස්සේ. But nowadays, you know, we have then this port is replaced with the USB. Therefore no need to worry about the device drivers. When we connect it directly, we can use that property. We call what? USB නිසා ඇති වෙලා තියෙන දෙයක්. ඒ කියන්නේ install කරන්නේ නැතුව, එයාට අදාළ උපදෙස් install කරන්නේ නැතුවම අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව. That we call what? Plug and play property, right? That we call plug and play property. Without installing the device driver softwares, we can use those device that we call plug and play, right? Then another one, when we use the PS2 port, අපි ඉස්සර PS2 ports පාවිච්චි කරන කාලේ පුතේ දැන් අපි හිතමු අපි machine එක on කරද්දී අපිට අමතක වෙලා keyboard අපි හිතමු වෙන තැනකට ගිහින් අපි connect කරලා desktop එකක් අපි on කරනවා කියලා එතනදී අපි keyboard mouse හරි අපි හිතමු keyboard එක අපිට plug කරලා තියන්න බැරි වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් එතනදී අපි computer එක on කරා කියලා normally does not connect with the keyboard, right? කියන්නේ අපි අපිට මතක් වුණා කියලා අපව අපි on කරාට පස්සේ keyboard එක connect කරාට මේක වැඩ කරන්නේ නෑ පුතේ. But nowadays you know not like that. Normally we can change the keyboards, we can change the mouse, right? Because of the USB. If it is USB port, if it has USB only, we can change those things. That's why we call it as hot pluggable and hot swappable. අපිට මාරු කරන්න පුළුවන් කිසිම පරිගණකයේ ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම නවත්තලා අපිට අපව ඒව කනෙක්ට් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ඒක යූස් කරන අතරම අපිට පුළුවන් මේ devices change කරන්න. That's why we call it as hot pluggable and hot swappable. Another one, can add about 120 devices same time, right? එක සැරේ අපි දන්නවා multi USBs use කරනවා නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ multi USB ports වලට අපිට ඕන තරම් connect කරගන්න පුළුවන් devices. මීට අමතරව තව එකක් තියෙනවා. There is a special property, special feature. What is that? Right? ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඔය ලැබ් එකේ ඉදීම දැනලා සමහර ටීචර්ස් දුවන් ඇවිල්ලා දෙනවා ෆෝන් එක charge කරගන්න. එහෙම නේද? මොකද වෙන්නේ? Because it passed the electricity, right? So I forgot to put it, right? So that is very important. It passed the electricity. USB port එකේ තියෙන අනිත් එක තමයි පුතා. එයා electricity එක විද්‍යුතය මොනවාද සම්ප්‍රේෂණය කරනවා. So that is very important. The last one is it send the electricity, right? So that is very important. Okay. Now VGA port, you know, earlier we used those things, right? Monitor port, another name monitor port, right? Okay, and it has 15 holes. It has 15 holes, right? Okay, let's move to the next. Serial port, this port connect device such as modem to the computer. Today USB port is used instead of the serial port. Right. Okay. Now this is the end of the second lesson. So that is data communication. Datta sannivedana. This is very important, right? Normally we are communicating the data now in this time also, right? Right. So I am the sender now. So you are the receivers, right? Then transmitting data and information is called data communication, right? Transmitting data and information is called data communication. එතකොට දත්ත සහ තොරතුරු sannivedanaya කිරීම තමයි පුතේ දත්ත sannivedanaya කියලා කියන්නේ. Data transmission needs the connect between the sender and the receiver. දත්ත සම්ප්‍රේෂණයේදී sender කෙනෙකුත් receiver කෙනෙකුත් ඉන්න ඕනි. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ පාරේ කව හරි නිකන් කතා කර කර තමන් තනියෙන් කියෝ කියන කෙනෙක් කමියුනිකේෂන් එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? අපිට කවුරු හරි හරි තව ඒක රිසීව් කරගන්න කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් විතරයි එතන කමියුනිකේෂන් එකක් වෙන්නේ. හරි? Creating such a connection is called networking. Right? Creating such a connection is called networking. ඒ වගේ දෙන්නෙක් අතර සම්බන්ධයක් ඇති කරන එකට අපි කියන පුතා networking, right? So you can see here sender and here receiver, and there is a medium and there is a data transmission happen in between them, right? Okay, so that we call data communication. හරි නේද? සිංහල medium මම හිතන්නේ ගැටලුවක් නැහැ ඒක තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවනි. Right. එතන මෙතන මෙයාට කියනවා කවුද සම්ප්‍රේෂකයා මේ තියෙන ග්‍රාහකයා සම්ප්‍රේෂකයා ග්‍රාහකයාට දත්ත sannivedanaya කරනවා. ඒකට අපි කියන දත්ත සම්ප්‍රේෂණය කියලා පුතේ. හරි? Right. So there are basic components required for data communication. We discussed those things, but little bit you can see it again. Sender, the person or the object which send the data. Medium used to transmit data. Receiver or destination, the person or the object which receive the data, right? So that is very important. You have to remember the definition also for the components of the communication, right? Okay, right. Then communication medium may be a wired or wireless, right? Wired or wireless, right? Okay, we can go to the next point, that is data transmission modes, right? there are some data transmission modes. There are 3 types of data transmission modes. Can you remember? Then here you can see send the data to the single direction. එක සම්ප්‍රේෂකයක් එක දිශාවකට විතරක් දත්ත සම්ප්‍රේෂණය කරනවා. අපි that we call what? That we call simplex mode, right? So you know when television broadcasting is one of the example for the simplex mode, right? ඒකපත හරි දත්ත සම්ප්‍රේෂණ විදිය ඒකපත කියලා කියන්නේ එක දිශාවකට විතරක් දත්ත සම්ප්‍රේෂණය කරනවා නම්. Right? Any problem? Right. Okay. Now next one. What is next one? Right? For the at a time, one direction it send the data. At a time, one direction it send the data. After that, after it is successfully only, then it open another side and send another data, right? එක සැරයකට එක දිශාවකට විතරක් දත්ත සම්ප්‍රේෂණය වෙලා ඊළඟ සැරේ තමයි ඊළඟ direction එකට data transmit වෙන්නේ. So example is walkie talkie, right? So what is that mode we call? What is the name of that? Anybody can talk with me. What is that, Kota? At a time, one direction.
Half duplex mode.
Very good. Half duplex. Sinhaleng api kiyana putte ardha dvipata kiyala. Hari? Right. So next one, at the same time, normally both sides are connecting to each other, and both sides we can send the data and information. So that type of connection mode we call full duplex mode, right? Purna dvipata, right? So that is very important. You have to remember those things also. And then we have to discuss about the communication media, right? So you know there are 2 types of communication media. What are they? Right? 2 types of communication media. So I have to come that side before that. Here, there are 2 types of communication media: guided media and unguided media, right? Guided media, you know, it has a physical medium we can touch, right? So what are the example for guided media? Twisted pair, coaxial, fiber optic, right? Twisted pair, there are 2 types of twisted pair cables, you know, UTP and STP. UTP UTP mean shielded and unshielded. The STP can shielded. UTP can unshielded. There are no any shield, but here you can see the shield, right? And Samaksha cable and coaxial cable. So you can see that antenna wires, normally antenna wires considered as the coaxial cables. Fiber optic, you know, normally we are using fiber optics to transmit data fastly, right? Then over a long distance, right? Very good. Dura apita itamat vegawatwa data sampreshane karanna අවශ්‍ය නම් අපි පාවිච්චි කරන පුතේ fiber optics, right? අපි චුට්ටක් ඒක in detail බලාගෙන යමු. I think right. So we know twisted pair cables, pair of twisted. Why they are twisting? I want to ask that question. Sinhala media අපි කියනකොට ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ කම්බි ඇඹරීමකට ලක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඇයි එහෙම අඹරන්නේ? Why it is normally why they are twisting? That is important. Why they are twisting? ඇයි ඒව අඹරන්නේ? අඹරන්න හේතුව මොකද්ද පුතේ? Right? Normally why they are twisting, right? You know, when normally these cables like this, right? So you know, do you know about the electromagnetic field, right? Normally it has electromagnetic fields, right? Because of this electromagnetic field, that data normally attenuate. Data attenuate means that data loss rate is high, right? Because of this electromagnetic interference. මේ විද්‍යුත් චුම්බක ක්ෂේත්‍රයේ බලපෑම නිසා පුතේ දත්ත එන්න කියන්නේ මේක ඇතුලේ ගමන් කරන දත්ත ඉක්මනට වේගවත් විනාශ වෙලා යනවා. ඒතර to reduce that electromagnetic fields මේ විද්‍යුත් චුම්බක ක්ෂේත්‍රයන්ගේ බලපෑම අවම කරන්න මොකද කරලා තියෙන්නේ? twisting කරලා තියෙනවා. twisting කරලා තියෙන්නේ වෙන්නේ පුතේ මෙන්න මේ විද්‍යුත් චුම්බක ක්ෂේත්‍ර දෙක එකිනෙකට clash වෙලා ඒක neutralize වෙලා යන. ඒ කියන්නේ විද්‍යුත් චුම්බක ක්ෂේත්‍රයන් වල බලපෑම අඩු වෙනා යනවා මේක ඇතුලේ ගමන් කරන data වලට. මොකද ඒවා ඒ කියන්නේ you know it has a direction in directions දෙක එකිනෙකට clash වෙන නිසා මේ එකකින් electromagnetic interference එක අඩු වෙලා ඒකෙදි data කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැතුව flow වෙලා යන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාවක් එන හැබැයි but you know this is only for the these type of communication media we can use only for the short distance data transmission නේද ඒ කොච්චර වුණත් මේකේ අර physical medium එක හරහා data ගමන් කරද්දී යම් කිසි දුරකදී මෙහෙම යන දත්ත ඉක්මනට අඩු වෙලා යනවා නේද ඒ නිසා අපහු අපි කරන්නේ මොකද repeater එකක් දාලා repeater එකෙන් තමයි then only we can get again like that data again it go down again we have to use the repeaters right so likewise that data attenuation rate is very high ඒ හින්දා ඉක්මනට ළඟ ළඟම අපිට repeaters දාන්න නිසා අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මෙයාව long distance data transmission වලට ගන්නෙ නෑ පුතේ therefore this type of communication media we can use only for the short distance here it is suitable for maximum 100 meters right 100 meters the UTP unshielded ne me shielded hinda chuttak ඊට වඩා secured better quality and secure data transmission medium however it is expensive than UTP me UTP expensive කියන්නේ me STP expensive කියන්නේ අනිත් අයට සාපේක්ෂව නෙමෙයි පුතේ according to the UTP STP is expensive. According to the UTP, STP secured. According to the UTP, STP has a high quality or better than UTP. Likewise, we can compare UTP and STP. Therefore, I have made one of the question. I have given you the question. So this is the question for you to your homework. You have to compare UTP and STP cables at home, right? Okay. Then coaxial cables, you know, that another name for that, samaksha cable ekala අපි කියන සිංහලෙන් පුතේ coaxial cable another name for that is antenna wires, right? And electronic cable pair, it has the electronic cable pair. There are two conductors, then both has one axis මේ conductors දෙකටම තියෙන එකම axis එකක් නිසා තමයි පුතේ coaxial කියලා කියන්නේ right so outer cable which is like a braided copper net so this is the braided copper net product and electromagnetic field around the central cable these two cables are separated by plastic shield එතකොට මේ දෙන්න අතර ඒ නිසා දාලා තියෙනවා මොකද්ද plastic shield එක right these cables expensive and used for TV antenna and CCTV, right? So that is very familiar with you. And it is also used to transmit data in short distance, right? Not long distance. Okay. Then a fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cables, you know, it has the fiber core, plastic or glass tube. And core is the glass tube and there is a glass cladding around it. You can see the glass cladding. The data transmission carried out by the reflecting light, right? So you know it use the technique total internal reflection, right? සිංහලෙන් අපි කියන පූර්ණ අභ්‍යන්තර පරාවර්තනය, right? ඒකේ lines දෙක අතර පූර්ණ අභ්‍යන්තර පරාවර්තනයේ මේකේ ආලෝක කිරණ මාධ්‍යයෙන් තමයි දත සම්ප්‍රේෂණය කරන්නේ, right? It use the light beam to transmit the data. That technique is total internal reflection. පූර්ණ අභ්‍යන්තර පරාවර්තනයෙන් තමයි යා ගමන් කරන්නේ. හරි? These are used in modern telephone networks. The cable is relatively more expensive, right? And fastest data transmission media at the present. දැනට තියෙන transmission media වලින් fastest second, right? So that is very important. And there are some video clips I will show you next week, right? Okay, then after we can move to the next. Right, then we have to go to the unguided media, right? You know, සිංහලෙන් අපි කියනකොට නියම නොවන මාධ්‍ය data transmit as signal through the air without using the physical medium is called unguided media, right? There are no any physical medium right now. Now we are using most of the time unguided media for the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You know what is the media type? That is radio waves, right? Right, so you know radio waves penetrate the walls. බිත්ති විනිවිද යනවා නේද? ඒතර බිත්ති විනිවිද යන නිසා තමයි අපිට Wi-Fi අපිට ඕන තැනක ඉඳලා use කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Right. So that is one of the unguided media. Another one, microwaves. Microwaves. So this is, you have to remove microwaves. The microwaves travel in linear mode, right? Travel in linear mode. That means here you can see two towers, then tower to tower it has to face, right? මේ tower එකකින් තව tower එකකට තමයි ඒක මේ face කරලා තියන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට තමයි පුතේ ඒක transmit වෙන්නේ. ඒ විදිහට ගොඩාක් දුර ඕනනම් අරන් යන්න පුළුවන් ඒ data transmission එක. Distance between the centers are decided based on the geographical factor of the area. ඒ කියන්නේ අදිසි අපි මැද කන්දක් වගේ තියෙනවා. එතකොට කන්ද උඩට tower එකක් දානවා. ඒ වගේ tower එකකින් tower එකට ගන්නට data transmission එක කරනවා. Right? Satellite centers also there. Normally satellites are using microwaves. The ground level right. Last infrared. You know why we are using infrared? For the TV remote controllers we can use infrared, right? ඔක දැකලත් ඇතිනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ නේද digital camera එකෙන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ remote එක on කර බලන්න camera එක ඇතුලෙන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේනවා light එක, right? digital camera එක ඇතුලෙන් බලුවොත් ඔයාලට පේනවා ඒකේ light එක remote එකේ light එක on වෙනවා. Okay, infrared you can see like that. Okay, then data communication media we finish. Right, so we discussed those things. We have only less than 1 minute time, so this is one of the past paper question. I don't know whether it is enough for us or not. Unshielded twisted pair UTP cables are suitable to transmit data. Okay, next week we can discuss it, and next week we can start new lesson, right?